Picture this. It's 3 in the morning. The lobby of a luxury hotel is completely quiet. The guests are all asleep. But behind the scenes, a critical financial pulse is being taken. Today, we're diving deep into the meticulous, sometimes hidden world of modern hospitality operations. Specifically, we're unpacking departmental reporting and the legendary night audit.
Hello and welcome. I am a hotel AI expert with extensive experience in modern hospitality operations and performance support. I am pleased to welcome all students of Europe Hotel School to your online learning journey. We look forward to supporting your professional growth in the hospitality industry.
So here's our game plan for today's explainer. We're going to start with the hotel revenue puzzle, then look at auditing room revenue and verifying food and beverage. After that, we'll dive into ancillary department contributions, break down the systematic verification process, and wrap up with a look at technology versus human oversight.
All right, let's jump right into part 1, the hotel revenue puzzle, and how we actually go about bridging those tricky departmental silos.
You know, a modern hotel is an incredibly complex organization. I mean, it's basically a bunch of different businesses operating under one roof, right? And each of these revenue-generating departments has its own unique operating rhythm. When you break down the revenue, it's actually quite structured. Room revenue, that forms the largest piece of the pie by far. It's your foundational income. Then you've got food and beverage making up a really substantial secondary portion, followed by your ancillary departments. Capturing the income from all these diverse areas accurately during the night audit, it is absolutely paramount to making sure your financial records reflect reality.
At premier training programs like the ones at Europe Hotel School London, there's this core philosophy we really emphasize. It's the idea that departmental reporting is as much about communication as it is about accounting. You're not just, tallying up a bunch of numbers on a spreadsheet. You're actually translating the physical reality of the day, whether that's a VIP checking into a corner suite or a 2 a.m. room service order for a club sandwich, into a single, unified financial story. It really highlights how crucial coordination is across the entire property.
Moving right along, we reach Section 2, Auditing Room Revenue, or as I like to call it, securing the core asset.
Because room revenue is the absolute largest source of income for most hotels, getting this right is the night auditor's absolute top priority. The verification here is intense. The auditor has to start by making sure room charges are posted correctly based on the reservations, the specific rate plans, and the guest's length of stay. They have to verify that every single occupied room has a matching charge. And honestly, just as importantly, they have to ensure that vacant or complimentary rooms haven't been billed by mistake. If there's even a single discrepancy between the front office and the central system, the auditor has to track it down and resolve it before that audit can be officially closed.
Now let's head over to the restaurants and bars for Section 3, verifying food and beverage. We like to call this part the integration challenge.
Food and beverage presents a totally different set of headaches. Operational challenges, really. Think about it. You've got these bustling, high-volume restaurants, crowded bars, massive banquets. These areas rely on standalone point-of-sale, or POS systems, which are built for pure speed. But then, on the other side, you have the property management system, the PMS. That's the hotel's central hub. The real challenge here, it's making sure these two very distinct, very different technological systems actually talk to each other flawlessly. And that brings us to interface transfers. During the night audit, every bit of revenue from all F&B outlets has to be reviewed to guarantee that the transactions transferred perfectly from the local POS to the central PMS. The auditor is essentially looking to see if a steak dinner charged to room 402 actually matches the restaurant's actual sales records. Errors in these digital handoffs, they happen all the time. They're a massive source of discrepancies, which is why the night auditor has to be incredibly vigilant here.
Let's step out of the dining room and into Section 4, Ancillary Department Contributions. This is all about managing the margins.
So beyond just rooms and meals, you've got departments like the spa, parking facilities, retail shops, maybe a business center. And these contribute a lot to total revenue, but they come with some real reporting friction. Why? Well, they might use totally independent software, or, believe it or not, sometimes they still rely on manual reporting methods. That naturally skyrockets the risk of financial inconsistencies. The night auditor steps in to make sure revenue from all these random sources is captured, totaled, and, this is key, categorized correctly so it doesn't skew the hotel's entire financial outlook. Which leads us perfectly into Section 5, the systematic verification process. Basically, how we go about connecting the data.
Verification is literally the cornerstone of departmental revenue reporting. It's a systematic process where you compare data from different sources to confirm everything matches up. This is exactly how auditors spot anomalies, things like missing postings weird amounts, or timing differences. And if you're a student at a premier hospitality program, you learn this vital lesson early on. Verification has to be approached as a comprehensive, structured methodology. It cannot just be a disorganized series of random checks.
So, what does that systematic process actually look like on the ground? Let's look at some common cross-checks. You take room revenue figures from a primary data source and directly compare them against housekeeping and occupancy reports. Is the room actually clean and occupied? Same thing for F&B. Total F&B revenue in the central system is cross-checked against the specific outlet's end-of-day sales summaries. By forcing operational proof to match the financial data, the night auditor successfully builds a bridge across those departmental silos.
Now, you might be asking, why does this level of painstaking accuracy even matter? Well, it's because these departmental revenue reports are the lifeblood of executive decision-making. Accurate reporting directly fuels budgeting, forecasting, and long-term strategic planning. It's what allows hotel leaders to see exactly which departments are crushing it and which ones need some operational TLC. For the night auditor, knowing that the general manager is using your exact reports to steer the future of the hotel, well, that really reinforces just how crucial this daily work is.
We finally arrived at Section 6, Technology versus Human Oversight. Let's talk about why we still heavily rely on the indispensable auditor.
Look, today, technology plays a massive role in all of this. Automated systems are incredible. They process huge volumes of data with a speed and efficiency that we just can't match. But human oversight, it remains absolutely essential. Software simply cannot always detect context-based errors. A computer might not catch that a corporate rate was applied to the wrong guest or flag a discount that wasn't authorized by a manager. That is exactly where the night auditor comes in. It's their irreplaceable job to bridge the gap between what a system spits out and what is actually happening in the hotel.
At the end of the day, departmental revenue reporting during the night audit is all about creating one complete, highly accurate picture of the hotel's financial health. Every single department, from the penthouse suites down to the lobby bar, is just a piece of a much larger puzzle. And the night auditor? They are the professional responsible for ensuring every single piece fits together perfectly. Grasping this big picture, holistic perspective is absolutely crucial for any student preparing to lead in this industry.
As we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with something to really chew on as you continue your professional growth. As future leaders in this dynamic, fast-paced industry, how will you ensure that accountability and clarity bridge the gap between system outputs and the operational reality in your own departments? It's a big question. Thank you so much for joining me for this deep dive into hospitality operations. Keep questioning, keep verifying, and I look forward to seeing you in our next explainer.